Okay, so this is episode 2 of our Single Mompreneurs in Business. And today we have Britney Mack. She is a mother of 2 and she owns her own Christian t-shirt line called Convicted Hearts.
Yay.
So I am going to let her take it away and introduce herself. Hi, Britney. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am amazing. So go ahead and just briefly tell us about your business and, what you do and who you are and all that good stuff.
All right. So I'm Britney. My business is Convicted Hearts. So a convicted heart, let's just start there because everybody's like, if you don't get it, then it's something I have to explain. So
Yeah.
It's like as a Christian, you're convicted when you do wrong. You're convicted to do right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much having that conviction and just allowing that conviction to lead your life, your actions, everything pretty much. So I end up creating shirts around that. My first shirt says "Girl Pray" with lipstick. That's my shirt. And then the shirt I just launched, it says "Sin, Repent, Repeat." No, Sin, Repent, Repeat. And at the bottom it says "Break the Cycle." So it's pretty much my story in shirts.
Awesome. So, tell us about how did you get started with Convicted Hearts? Tell us your story.
So my story is pretty long, but the short version is I went through a lot, overcame anxiety, cancer, depression while being a young mom by myself. And once I got over all of that, I was like, okay, I have a purpose, but I don't know what it is. So I just had to pray and really find out what my purpose was. And out of praying about that, I just got the words Convicted Hearts. And I just heard it and it's like, okay, t-shirts. So for about a whole 2 years, I've just been designing shirts, writing them down, but I wasn't in a place where I was ready to present it and be telling people about Jesus because I wasn't living right. I wasn't
right.
Sin, repent, repeat. That was me. I had to break that cycle and then become this person who I've been celibate for over a year.
Awesome.
And through celibacy, I've stopped drinking. I'm just like a whole nother person. So now the interest in Convicted Hearts, I finally did my LLC in October 2016. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. My testimony, I've been through everything and then some for a reason. So it's just me really getting ready to just share what I've been through to help other people. And then I also blog. So everything is on the site, convictedhearts.com. So yeah.
Yeah, I took a look at your site. So tell us, how did you start blogging?
Blogging came because I used to write to Jesus. I didn't feel comfortable praying. I was just intimidated to pray. So I would just write. So out of writing, I was like, why does it sound like I'm preaching? Why does it sound like this is a message? It's not just me telling God hey, God, what's up? I need some help in these areas. I want to grow. But then it started to become a topic. Whatever that topic was, I would just blog and just share what I've been through and what I got out of it.
Awesome.
So that's how I started blogging.
That's amazing. Similar story. I honestly, I felt like blogging was like my outlet of writing, and it just felt really good to just get everything that was cluttering my mind just on, paper or the computer screen. And it's invigorating at times. So definitely that's a great outlet for a lot of people. All right. So what have been your challenges? I know that you're a mom. So what have been your challenges being a mom while, creating your business?
Oh gosh, my biggest is time.
Yeah.
Time. And then the kids feeling like I'm neglecting because nobody's really being neglected here. They're just, my attention isn't 100% on them 100% of the time. So of course they feel some type of way. So I kind of do it at night. So hang out with them. I work 8 hours a day, pick them up, have dinner, hang out, bedtime. And then, okay, let's focus. Let's blog. Let's come up with another shirt idea. Let's do something towards your business because it's like you're working 8 hours for someone else's company. You got to put something into your own.
Right.
So I found doing it at night when they're asleep or on the weekend is great. Because on the weekend, that's their time. They hang out, they do their thing. And then I just have a few hours where I'm just typing or doing something. Right. And I've even kind of tried to incorporate them in it. I'll give them I'll draw a t-shirt on a paper and I was like, okay, design something. Let me see what you would come up with if you were to make a shirt. So I kind of include them in it. So it's not like mom's creating again. We're left out.
Right. No, that's great because it gives them a chance to, really improve in their creativity and, to just be a part of your creations and everything. That's wonderful. So you think scheduling is really important, especially being a mom and owning your own business?
That is the number one thing. I feel like once you get a schedule, once you're able to be consistent, things will really start happening.
Yeah.
So I think that's the number one thing for me.
That is, so I have a 1-year-old and I normally do all of my blogging and trying to get my little projects together when she goes to sleep. So I'm up late at night.
Yep.
Early mornings trying to get, things done while she's sleeping. So I can definitely relate. And I think other moms can definitely like, as long as you find that time and get it done. That's a true boss. All right. So what has been a rewarding moment as a mom and a business owner?
My friend sings. I'll use this. So my friend sings and she had an engagement that she was singing at and she wanted to get one of my girl pray shirts. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, so pack up the kids, grab a shirt. And I go up to the venue where she had to sing. And then just them being able to see like, this is what I do. I give shirts. And she went, changed it to the shirt. We took some pictures with her with the shirt and put it up. And then they were just able to see like, okay, mom is really doing something. Other people are, purchasing her items. And so it was just really fun to have them see like, this is my end goal. This is why I'm doing this.
That's awesome. So okay, baby, how do you want to say hi?
Cutie, all that hair.
I know, it's all over her head. How do you juggle being a mom and maintaining your business? I know that you said scheduling was really important, but how do you really do it?
I'm still
and gain that success?
I'm still trying. It's a work in progress. Honestly, I don't think I've even come up with the balance that 100% has worked yet. Kind of like trial and error, trying different things to see what works, what doesn't work. Once I find it, I'm sticking to it. I haven't found it yet.
Right.
I'm definitely trying to find out, okay, do I do it before, after? But then it's like, okay, you're a mom, you have a business. But then it's like, I realize I'm putting God on the back burner. Can't do that.
No.
Like, I literally just had to have this conversation with God. Like, okay, Lord, I'm confused. Like, I know you're not the author of confusion. So what's going on? Why aren't my items selling like that? Like, I know they can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're putting everything before me. Got it. So now I got to rework my schedule.
Yeah.
He was being left out and he gave me this. So that's not an option. He definitely has to be included in everything and he has to come first. So
yeah, that's
work in progress, trial and error.
That is most important. 1 second. Okay, so that is really, really key. Making sure that God is definitely first in whatever endeavor we have, because He is ultimately our direction. He leads us and He guides us. And without that, we can fall short. We can be lost. And that's really important to just make sure that He's put first. So what tips would you provide other moms who want to start a business and who are single parents?
Plan. Write it down. Write it down everywhere. Stick it up. I feel like if you're able to see what it is that you want to do, it makes it easier. Because when you do your own business, every day is not rainbow and sunshine. It rains sometimes. You feel discouraged. So you got to kind of remember the end goal. It's definitely a journey. So write it down. Like on my laptop, my backdrop is my company logo. So I'm constantly seeing it. This is your goal. This is what you want. Because before I didn't have a logo. So it's something. Now I have that. Didn't have a website. I have that. It's pace yourself. Don't put pressure on yourself to have sold so many items by a certain amount of time. Don't even do it. Just put it out there and whoever needs it will get to it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm still learning. But I feel like it's a good lesson because if I don't put too much pressure on myself, I'm able to just create.
Yeah.
And just go from there. Don't put too many standards up, like, okay, this has to sell this many. No. And then I just learned for t-shirts, start small. Don't get 36 shirts because you have leftovers like I do. Don't do it. Start with 12.
So you mentioned that about your t-shirts, just really quickly. When you started out with your business, did you make any mistakes? I know that you said that you mentioned having a larger amount of quantity compared to starting out with a smaller amount of quantity. So, like, I guess, what would you do now that you did, or what would you do differently that you did starting your company? What would you do differently?
Starting, I think the person I got to make the shirts, like, that was a struggle. Like, the communication was just off. And I'm going to drive to DC to pick up my shirts. I get there, whole building is shut down, closed.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I know we said Saturday morning. It's like, it's only 11:30. They're already gone. So we talk, and I'm just like, just find somebody who knows how to communicate. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing, because once you have that line of communication, that's the best thing. Trial and error with the people that you use for your companies as well, because it may not work out. And for him, he had to go. Mm-hmm. He had to go. It wasn't going to work. He was going to make me step aside from Jesus and have words with you. That's not what I want. I don't want that. You really have to be picky. Be picky. Don't settle. And I think that's what I had to tell myself, because it's taken me a long time. Like, I'll order shirts and I'm like, okay, do I like this shirt? How does it fit? How does it wash? Does it feel good on your skin? Is it going to shrink? And then I read reviews. Like, do your research. I read reviews on certain shirts. It was this one shirt I liked, loved it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to use this one. Read a review. And the guy was like, yeah, the shirt's fine if you're under 6 foot.
Wow.
Won't use that shirt. So we had to just move on to something else. I don't want to be doing refunds and, people being unsatisfied with the stuff that I'm giving them.
Right.
So be picky, take your time. That's the only thing I really can say. Be picky, take your time.
So briefly, what would you say to someone who wants to start with their brand, or, for example, a clothing company? Like, what information would you give to them?
So if you're doing design, Fiverr.com, that is my friend. That is how I got a lot of my shirt concepts. I pretty much used one person. I found this one guy. I found one person who already had made shirts that were kind of in the direction that I wanted to go. So once I found him, and he had already made like other Christian shirts for people, and he posted his work. I was like, okay, I think he gets it. I can use him. So, I'm really clear, because I know what it looks like. I just can't execute on my own. I'm really clear what every shirt looks like. So I send him pictures. I tell him the color, the font, everything. And he knocks it out of the park. So Fiverr.com. They can do logos, websites, business cards. Yeah, and they're all freelance artists. So it's a lot cheaper than what you would pay using any other site. And my cousin actually told me about them. So that's how I got that information. Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. That is really, really important in any business.
Yes.
So awesome. And that leads into my next question, the final question. So if our viewers want to contact you, if they have questions or to follow you or even purchase a shirt, tell us where we can find you and your site and all your information so that we can get some of these Convicted Heart shirts out there to other people.
Yeah, so you can go to my website, www.convictedhearts.com. You can email me, convictedhearts@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook under Convicted Hearts LLC, and also on Instagram under Convicted Hearts.
Awesome. Well, that includes our little session with Britney Mack, and I'm going to pause and stop.